Today, volunteers in Myanmar give out rice to stave off a food shortage at a school established by a monastery. We meet a single mother from China who strives to support her daughter in Taiwan despite living out of a car shelter. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Myanmar. The Antakti Monastery in Myanmar has established a school for impoverished students in the region. Over the past 10 years, the number of students has steadily increased, which recently led to the threat of a food shortage. When Tzu Chi volunteers in Myanmar heard the news, they quickly delivered 4 tons of rice to the monastery.
The Antakti Monastery is nestled deep in the Bago Mountains of Myanmar. Years ago, after seeing the poor children of nearby communities wandering the area, the monks decided to establish a school for families in the region.
When I ask the kids what they want to do when they grow up, they say things like, when I grow up, I want to scrape bark, harvest bamboo, catch water buffalo, or raise chickens. All jobs involved in agriculture or raising livestock, because those are the only things they know living in this environment. It really makes me sad to hear only those kinds of responses.
Venerable Uwa Gadama manages the school without government assistance or corporate support. In 2006, the school began its first year with only 14 students, but now there are almost 400 students in attendance. This has led to worries over food shortages at the school and monastery. When Tzu Chi volunteers hear the news, they are quick to respond, arriving at the monastery with 4 tons of rice in tow.
The school is most worried about now is our rice. Generally, one bag is 24 large scoops, and that costs about $17. That's generally for low-quality rice. In 2 days, we'll go through a whole bag. So in 1 day, we will eat 12 kilograms of rice. Now that Tzu Chi has provided us with more rice, we're so thankful. And now we have enough to make it through the rainy season.
My dream is to be a doctor because a lot of people in Myanmar are sick and poor. So I want to care for the next generation and keep them healthy. I also want them all to be able to study in peace.
As these children continue their studies in these humble surroundings, Tzu Chi hopes it can contribute to their social and spiritual development, and that they will all grow up to impact society in a positive way.
Malaysia, Sarawak is the home to an indigenous people called the Dayak. Every June, this local tribe hosts a festival to celebrate the rice harvest. Today, volunteers also made use of this celebration to distribute useful supplies to them.
Every June, the indigenous Dayak people of Malaysia return home for a special harvest festival celebration.
Like small gathering with family, and then we have foods and we eat lah makan-makan because they have minum-minum, and then people like want to ngajak dance, and hey, you can dance and then you play all these instruments.
The festival, which celebrates the harvest of rice, is often a difficult time for poor families. For this reason, Tzu Chi volunteers host a banquet before this holiday, inviting many of the care recipients from the Dayak tribe to participate.
My husband died, and now life has become very difficult. My child is still young and still in school. When I didn't know what to do, thankfully this group came to help me.
In addition to this banquet, timely assistance in terms of daily necessities was also provided to these families in need.
Ramadan is observed by Muslims worldwide as a month of fasting to bring them closer to God and to remind them of the suffering of the less fortunate. To celebrate the occasion, in Jakarta, Indonesia, Tzu Chi invited 45 poor Muslim children to participate in events that teach them about cherishing resources.
During the atmosphere of joy, these children are showing their innocent smile. They go with Tzu Chi to a recycling station to attend events. These children are from an education center from Petongkelang. At spare time, they must help with housework. For example, if their mothers do laundry to make a living, their children must help wash clothes.
Yang pastinya tujuan Tzu Chi itu adalah kita menjalankan misi amal Tzu Chi.
We Tzu Chis must carry out Tzu Chi's work. These children may not have a chance to experience joy, so we are taking this chance to share ideas with them.
Merasakan kesenangan. Nah, saat-saat inilah kita memberikan kesenangan kepada mereka.
Ramadan is a festival for Muslims to cherish what they have. Tzu Chi also use games to inspire these Muslim children to cherish water and to protect the earth.
Di tengah banyak kan anak-anak muda sekarang yang mohon maaf kalau di banyak dekat.
Currently, many young people have behavioral problems, such as fighting, using drugs, and sex. But Tzu Chis are different, and they are the young people this country needs.
Dalam hedonisme lah, tapi mereka tuh beda Tzu Chi itu. Jadi generasi yang berbeda itu yang dibutuhkan dari Indonesia ke depan.
During recess, the volunteers prepare a lot of delicious desserts for everyone. Tzu Chis hope that the care to these children will not only appear during the Ramadan, but will happen every month, so the growth can continue.
While Tzu Chi was in Haiti to distribute rice for the needy, the volunteers were invited to a graduation ceremony for Christ the King Secretarial School, one of the schools that Tzu Chi helped rebuild in the aftermath of the earthquake in 2010. Let's take a look at the ceremony and see how well the students turned out.
It's been 3 years since the school's inauguration, and Tzu Chi's love and care have yet to falter. A 9-member delegation of Tzu Chi was invited to the graduation ceremony for the students of Christ the King Secretarial School.
We are honored to have been invited. We have a good friendship with the Sisters of St. Anne. They have taught the students that they need to love their parents and do charitable deeds, as well as be grateful for all those who have given them assistance.
Thanks to the school's discipline, the students understand gratitude right in line with Tzu Chi's ideals. The school's education has also encouraged countless students to dare to dream.
Yeah, thank you to Tzu Chi Foundation for our school.
Beautiful school.
Yes.
Today we are graduating.
Yes.
Okay, so it's the most beautiful day in our life.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yes, and we are so proud of us, of our work.
Yes,
We work hard. Yes.
The school is one of the best. We are very proud about our child. That's why we appreciate your job, we appreciate your contribution, and we hope that you can continue to help the school.
Merci à Tzu Chi Fondation. Je suis très contente. Merci pour tout ce que vous avez fait.
The graduates of the school are very much in demand on the job market, especially by foreign companies or in government sectors. If a student gets into the school, it pretty much guarantees them a steady job upon graduation. Honored to have been invited, Tzu Chi volunteers wish these graduates the best in the world. May they continue to spread love and compassion all over Haiti.
Now we'll meet a woman living in Nantou County, Taiwan, that immigrated from the mainland over a decade ago. Ms. Chen Li is raising her 7-year-old daughter as a single mother in a small bracelet-making studio that doubles as their home. Despite her overwhelming difficult living conditions, she strives to be self-sufficient.
This mother rides a bicycle to pick her daughter up from kindergarten. After arriving, the daughter automatically goes to the sink to clean up, using a stool to help her reach the counter.
谁很辛苦？
妈妈。
妈妈很辛苦啊，所以你都帮妈妈做什么事？
都帮妈妈洗碗，整理家里。
Living in a garage with metal walls, several stacked crates form the child's desk for study, where she can use the natural light to do her homework. This small workshop is also the home of this mother-daughter pair. Their sleeping quarters are beneath the household shrine.
When I'm really busy and it gets dark in here, if I can't sleep with her, then she won't be able to sleep alone. So she turns on a little lamp. It's actually a lamp she made herself.
Miss Chun came to Taiwan from the mainland over 10 years ago. But after divorcing from her husband 2 years ago, she has since been raising her 7-year-old daughter on her own.
We rely on ourselves as much as possible. Since the money I make is very limited, I am unable to rent a place.
Ms. Chun works hard making a meager living from making bracelets and selling dohua. She did not want to rely on other people until a representative of the Foreign Spouses Welfare Development Association, Chun Yens, reached out to her.
In the evenings, they just lower this canvas, so there are a lot of concerns for safety. The primary thing we need to solve now is finding them a place to live. We have already started looking for an apartment.
When they need to use the bathroom, they head to a nearby park, and to bathe each day, they heat water on a stovetop.
She is a very strong-willed and independent woman that we all really admire. We regularly come here to check on her and ask if there's anything we can help her with.
Miss Chun may be from the mainland, but she made Taiwan her home long ago. As long as this daughter and mother have each other, they are content to face each day as it comes.
On Master Chun Yens' island-wide tour, she stopped in Tainan to speak with the volunteers there. Among those who shared their thoughts with the master were an 85-year-old recycling volunteer, as well as 2 middle school principals, whose schools receive assistance from Tzu Chi.
We only had 1/3 of the school space, and it was very difficult to accommodate all the teachers and students.
Master Chun Yens recently stopped in Tainan. The principals of 2 area middle schools came to express their gratitude for the foundation's assistance with repairing and rebuilding their schools.
The Tzu Chi brothers and sisters were there at the site helping us brick by brick. With every step, they were helping us.
Everything is the result of hard work and cooperation. Really, the Tzu Chi family has been giving such great help to all the students here.
Many recycling volunteers also came to express their gratitude. After 10 or even 20 years of recycling, they are happy to continue to practice goodwill. The master reminds everyone that acting for the benefit of others is the true essence of a bodhisattva. After 50 years of both difficulty and blessings, the Master's message for Tzu Chi has not changed. Master Chun Yens reminds us to continue helping others and caring for the earth to promote a harmonious society.
In Taiwan, in 2006, Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital began training volunteers to become standardized patients. Since many Tzu Chi volunteers then took on this task to help train medical students, other hospitals followed Tzu Chi's example and began to train volunteers. Today, we'll meet some of these Tzu Chi volunteers.
Acting out the scenarios in the script, these amateur actors from all walks of life are actually Tzu Chi volunteers. Most of them do not have medical training.
Most people do not like to go to hospitals. In Taiwan, there is a great force known as the strength of volunteers. We utilize this strength, so it was important in the beginning.
For most people, standardized patients is an unfamiliar term. They are trained individuals who take on the roles of patients to help medical students practice by asking patients questions and conducting physical examinations.
They need to memorize the script and act out the scenarios. The consistency and accuracy of their acting is also important.
Master Chun Yens commended standardized patients as good mentors who help medical students learn. Unlike most institutes who work with professional actors, Tzu Chi recruited volunteers to be trained as standardized patients in 2006, setting a precedent in Taiwan.
They have to pay for their own transportation expenses. Tzu Chi's standardized patient is different in this regard. They are very firm in their faith and principles.
Yang Fangjiao, who's in charge of recruiting volunteers, knows every standardized patient's personality and acting ability. People count on her to find suitable candidates to act out the scenarios.
When there are large-scale activities, I call them one by one. Since my elbow was not supported, I felt pain in the elbow. Then the doctor told me I had tennis elbow.
就是两边一定要对称，左侧跟右侧做比较。
Among the dedicated standardized patients are 62-year-old Wang Jingxiong and his wife. After undergoing the necessary training, they do their best to help out when call upon.
Helping out when the students are taking tests is very important because we are helping them train more future doctors. It will eventually alleviate the suffering of people in society, which benefits the public.
Jian Huangbing is one of the earliest standardized patients. He participated in various activities and spent up to 1,000 hours volunteering. After he passed away in 2013, his body was donated to the medical school for students to hone their skills.
未曾无以量词之前呢，先曾有以量词。
In the past, standardized patients are predominantly older in age, but young people are also needed. Chen Jialing, who lives in Sanchong, has been traveling to join the training since March of 2015.
At this age, we remember things and deal with pressure better than the older volunteers. However, they are able to serve like this for so many years. Therefore, having this opportunity to serve, I want to do it well. After
10 years with the assistance of standardized patients, medical students have been able to refine a variety of skills and provide better medical care to those in need.
Currently, only 36 military dependence villages remain scattered throughout Taiwan. These remaining villages are slated to be turned into cafes, restaurants, or markets. Some scholars question this government policy of emptying out these villages and transforming them into commercial spaces. Today, we take a closer look at this problem.
The government wanted us to move out. I was bored, so I began painting.
The first painting he carried out was on the interior wall of this house in this military dependence village. After picking up the brush, Wang hasn't stopped painting.
Other people really like my paintings. Even children like it. One 3-year-old child said to me, "Grandpa, I really like it. Look, even 3-year-old children appreciate these paintings."
For this reason, Huang continued painting, starting from his house and continuing to the neighbors, and then what remained of his village. Wang thought the entire military dependence village would soon be demolished, so he might as well use colorful paints throughout the area to liven things up. This is the Taichung's Nantun District Dado Plateau. In the background, this vast area has been demolished. Used to be 1,200 households of military dependents, but the demolishing stopped at this area. As far as the eye can see, demolition work has cleared some 10 hectares of land. The only area spared was Mr. Huang's home and that of his 11 next-door neighbors. With the colorful walls and decoration, the old forgotten village was given the nickname Rainbow Village.
Before, the village seemed a bit old, but now it has been infused with art, and it really feels quite modern and is appealing to young people.
This is Bruce Lee's Kung Fu. You see, I can also do it.
In order to avoid demolishing these important areas, as long as the municipal governments designate military dependence villages as cultural assets, the Defense Ministry must cooperate in an urban renewal program to find new use of these old buildings.
They talked about the policy to renovate these villages for some 30 years, and a lot of the houses simply just waited around for 30 years.
Cultural Affairs Bureau's attitude towards preserving these military dependence villages sometimes encounter land or urban planning problems, so this could delay.
At present, Taiwan only has saved 36 such villages, with New Taipei's Air Force Sanchong Village No. 1 almost completely intact. More than 50 years ago, residents of Air Force Sanchong Village No. 1 frequently experienced flooding, which would sometimes be as tall as a person. For this reason, the Defense Ministry provided assistance to allow them to build a second floor, so that residents could go to their second floor to take refuge from the flooding. Climbing to the second floor, we see tiles peeling off and a general state of disrepair, as all 59 households in Air Force Sanjong Village No. 1 were forced to leave due to a change in regulations. Some families sometimes still return to see their old home.
This is my father's beloved rocking chair. He would sit and watch TV.
Sitting here and rocking back and forth, certain memories come flooding back to village chief Wang Jingxing. In the end, Wang decided to donate the chair, TV, fan, and other items as cultural relics. The whole house is now a sort of museum that is open to visitors. Former residents are hoping the government will allow original tenants the chance to come back and become caretakers or manage their former residences or give tours, helping retain the original flavor of the area.
If a city doesn't have a history or a culture, then this city is without any humanistic qualities.
Taiwan's remaining military dependence villages have mostly been converted to outdoor bazaars, cafes, and restaurants.
Preserving these areas, like a mummy with no activity or usefulness, typically means these areas won't last very long.
Military dependence villages now are either decaying buildings or those which attract noisy crowds, spurred on by the cultural and creative industries. But still the question remains, does this really reflect the spirit of the former veterans and families that lived here?
June 27th marks the one-year anniversary of the explosion that took place at the Bali Water Park in New Taipei City. Gratitude gatherings were held at Far Eastern Memorial Hospital and Xinguang Memorial Hospital on June 22nd. At the occasions, many burn victims expressed their gratitude of the medical staff.
Greeting each other with a deep hug, the two women were roommates in the burn center. One of them had to rely on ECMO to sustain her life.
Sometimes she invites me to go through rehabilitation with her. Since we do it together, we became very close.
I will do my best to lead a better life.
23-year-old Huang Bo-wei has burns that cover up to 90% of his body. He's only able to move his left hand, but his will to live is strong thanks to the support of his family.
I've been hoping that I can go to work and earn money to lessen my parents' burden. I asked them to just give me a little more time.
The support of families during the rehabilitation process is crucial. Parents write a personal note to thank the medical staff for all the meticulous care during their hospital stay.
Sometimes I get bouts of discomfort and pain, so I get a bit stubborn. They're very tolerant and very considerate of us.
When I was in the hospital, I would refer to the men as brother and the women as sister. I am very grateful to them for taking care of me day and night when I was hospitalized.
At the gratitude tea gathering, the 8 burn victims treated by Far Eastern Hospital are also present to share their stories of courage despite the ordeal.
In Taoyuan, Taiwan, a teacher at Nankang Elementary School has invited Tzu Chi volunteers to organize a gratitude tea gathering for the graduating students. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.